Come on, y'all. This is Aunt Linda, the dad aboard the Titanic. Yes, black people was aboard the Titanic. After almost been trying to teach you guys that black people was aboard the Titanic for years. We had to come out of our graves, me and my homeboys and homegirls. We had to come out of our graves to get you guys' attention that black people was aboard the Titanic. Hey, now, after Oma needs your help. She only got a few subscribers. She need 1,000 subscribers now. You guys can do it this one. I think she got 98 subscribers. Come on now. Hit like, share, subscribe. Hit like, share, subscribe. Come on now. You can do it. You can help After Oma subscribe. But anyhow, we're finna go back to our grave. But don't forget us. This is your Aunt Linda who died on the Titanic. Man, they gave us no lifeline for us. We died on the Titanic. Come on now. Hit like and subscribe. Aunt Linda perished aboard the Titanic because there was no lifeline for our ancestors. Again, hit that like button, share and subscribe, and don't forget. Today we're going to be looking at the after verdict of Tim Norman. Tim Norman was starred the hit show Sweetie Pie on network. His mother, Miss Robbie, was, back in the day, she was an cat. One of the hottest group back in the day, man. Ike and Tina Turner. There she is, Miss Robbie in the background, singing and dancing along with Ike and Tina Turner. Who would ever know that this lady right here, Mrs. Robbie, would have the story of murder, man, a lifetime story. But this is mostly about black women. Why is it that when black women complain about being abused, a blind eye is turned? Miss Robbie said that he abused her financially. She had a lawsuit out on him because he had opened up restaurants in her name without knowing it. He was financially abusing his mother. So his mother, Miss Robbie, had a lawsuit out on her son, Tim. Then there was Janae, his fiance and baby's mom. Yeah, we saw him being abusive on network, Miss Robbie's show. Yeah, verbally abusive. Yeah, and last but not least, we saw Tim be abusive in Miss Robbie restaurant, Sweetie Pies. But we're focusing on why is it that no one believed Jennifer Williams, the basketball star of Basketball Wives, one of the stars, y'all. Actually, she's one of the original stars, really, from the Basketball Wives. But she dated Tim. Nobody believed her. Most people didn't believe her when she said she had to take out a restraining order on Tim and that he was crazy. So we continuously, this is the aftermath of the verdict, the guilty verdict. Now, I'm concentrating on these women. You got Miss Robbie, you got Jennifer, and you got the baby's mom, Janae. All three of these black women is accusing this man of being abusive. Yet, seems like everyone is turning the blind eye. But what about this? Even the guys, Tim little nephews, so they come running in there. Yeah. Seems like Tim done had a temper tantrum and roughed them up, you guys. Yes. While Miss Robbie is sitting there in the comfort of her office with a grandbaby. And the grandbaby looked like it's about 3 or 4 months old. And Janae is sitting on the floor. Then Andre and Charles busted through the door. Charles was literally in tears, you guys. This man right here have had all kinds of warning signs that he is abusive. Everybody in that sweetie pie knew that this man was abusive. So they say, abusive people believe that they have the right to control your every move. Now, see, she put Miss Robbie, she put him as a manager, right? Tim Norman, is he just a bad child or what? Tim Norman got out of prison. He did. I don't remember how many years he did in prison, but it was over 3 years. I do know that. And he came home to what most prisoners do not have. He came home to a job. His mama made him manager of a restaurant. He came home to a brand new car and a penthouse, y'all. Yes. And then they say that this man, Tim was making at least $100,000 per month. Where he was raking in from all the little side jobs that he did off the restaurant. But let's get back to the case. These are warning signs that this man is very, very, very abusive. Now Charles and Andre, who he would later kill, y'all, who he would be later convicted of killing, comes in there also complaining about Tim Normal abuse. So most of these abusive people, right? They like to control you, right? And they often either because they believe that their own feelings are more important, that your priority should be them, that you should listen to them. Tim, he just really he dogged his 2 younger nephews out. Let's listen to what happened when he came in and bust.
Having a great moment with TJ, loving him and thinking how blessed we are as a family and everything. Andre and Charles bust through the door. It's amazing how in a moment your whole world can change. What's the matter?
Tim,
what did he do?
he came in the restaurant. I grabbed the cup that I have in the office, and then I had the clean solution in my hand.
This Charles speaking now, Charles is in tears. Listen to what Tim did to him.
So he walks back and then slaps the cup out of my hand and then grabs cleaner solution, knocks it over, knocks all the boxes over, and then pushes me up against the desk. And then he runs after him, pushing him out the other door. We do just stupid stuff. He pushing Charles and stuff. Yeah, man. And he hit me in my chest.
In the office, in the restaurant.
Okay.
Andre.
Hold it, y'all. That's Charles. Now, yeah. Charles. He roughing up Charles. So on this episode, you guys will see how this family is under domestic violence. This is a domestic violence case, you guys, in this family. Now, Tim, he's acting very erratic and uncontrollable in the restaurant. And I'm wondering, where are the customers? Are they seeing Tim act uncontrollable and irrational and abusive now? He has hit Andre upside the head. Listen, y'all.
We do just stupid stuff. He pushing Charles and stuff. Yeah, man. And he hit me in my chest.
In the office, in the restaurant. What the is wrong with him? Andre and Charles just rushed in. They're upset because Tim punched Andre. What is going on? What's wrong with Tim? That is not acceptable.
This is one of the almost reasons why I came down here, just to change my life from all this drama stuff. And come down and still drama.
Okay, you guys, this is Andre. Right here, my heart hurts because I was reflecting on the letter. You guys know the text messages. As you guys know that Tim has been convicted and found guilty of Andre murder for hire. But anyhow, just before he died, Andre was trying to prove to his mother, Miss Robbie, that he did not steal from her. It was massive thousands of dollars was stolen from her, his grandmother, Miss Robbie, including jewelry, and her house was just trash. So, I think Tim encouraged his mother to think that it was Andre. So Andre left, I guess, Andre left. So Miss Robbie kept asking Andre to come back. She told him, yeah, if you didn't steal from me, you come down here and take this lie detector test. He kept saying, Grandma, 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 I ain't take your money. I didn't steal from you. Grandma, I'm afraid, Grandma. I'm just afraid. I heard on the street that Tim got somebody out there that might hurt me, or Tim might hurt me. And Miss Robbie wasn't hearing it. She didn't hear a word this boy said about this man might hurt her. That's the part that I don't get. Anyway, he finally goes down to Grandma. He takes the polygraph test, and they said that it was inclusive, whatever you call that word. But anyway, he had to take it back again the following day. But he never did make it, y'all. He was murdered. Now, let's get back to the story. I was just reminiscing on the past, how the past reflect the future. Past reflect the future. And this is what we're looking at right here. This boy had punched Andre in the head. And y'all could see Andre was holding his head. It must have really hurt because Andre was holding his head. And it hurted Charles. So when I was looking back at the photos on the courthouse steps, I noticed that Charles supported Andrew's side of the family, y'all. Okay.
Down with him, and then I ain't did nothing to him. I ain't made a man of nothing.
This Andre.
Because this is getting out of hand. He's getting out of hand. I'm just getting sick of it. Take it, baby. Come on. This don't make sense.
Take it back. Let's get back to the argument again.
Having a great moment with TJ, loving him and thinking how blessed we are as a family and everything. Andre and Charles bust through the door. It's amazing how in a moment your whole world can change. What's the matter?
Tim,
what do you do?
he came in the restaurant. So I grabbed the cup that I had.
That's Charles.
And then I had the clean solution in my hand. So he walks back and then slaps the cup out of my hand and then grabs cleaner solution, knocks it over, knocks all the boxes over, and then pushes me up against the desk. And then he runs after him, pushing him out the other door. So he doing just stupid stuff. He pushing Charles and stuff. Yeah, man.
That's Andre.
In the office, in the restaurant. What the is wrong with him? Andre and Charles just rushed in. They're upset because Tim punched Andre. What is going on? What's wrong with Tim? That is not acceptable.
This is one of the almost reasons why I came down here, just to change my life from all this drama stuff. And come down and still drama down here with him. And then I ain't did nothing to him. I ain't made a man of nothing.
Right, okay, I'm going to talk to Tim because this is getting out of hand.
That broke my heart. He was crying to his grandmother. Andre said, I didn't come down here for this. I came down here to change my life. I didn't do nothing to this man. This man was abusive to this child. He was just a teenager. Oh my God, all these warning signs. And then the black woman, 2, 3 black women complaining about this man being abusive. But what about Jennifer, the basketball wife star? Yeah, we're going to go into that next, y'all. How they didn't believe this black woman. They always said that the black woman is the least protected woman on earth. But anyway, Jennifer was dating Tim, y'all. So Jennifer was trying to tell us that Tim was crazy and nobody wouldn't believe her. So clearly, This family is undergoing a crisis. They're in a domestic violence case. And I just want to say that, if anybody experience domestic violence, they have all kinds of hotlines that you can pick up your phone and call hotlines. You can Google it. So if you're in trouble, there's a way that you can solve it. There are programs out there that can help you. All right, so let's get back to this domestic violence case with Miss Robbie. She's furious now, y'all. So she is going to go confront her son about beating on his little cousin or little nephews. But let me tell y'all something. This woman knew that her son was abusive. Yeah, she knew. And this boy was afraid of him. Andre was afraid of him. Andre kept saying, Grandma, no, he's going to hurt me if I come back to town. But he loved his grandmother so much. So he would sacrifice his own life to prove to his grandmother that he did not steal from her. Let's hear Miss Robbie. Miss Robbie is really mad now.
That's not the point. Maybe they do play, but putting your hands on, that's not right. That's not right.
Here's the beef. I say the women in our family are a little too soft for raising our boys.
That's Tim.
I mean, they kind of spoil and let them do what the hell they want to do. I know how I was raised, and I know how my cousins were raised. So I'm saying I want this generation to turn out different. So I want to discipline Charles and Andre a little more than my mom and my aunts will discipline them. And I'm the bad guy right now.
Now you want to control.
They know they can't get fired.
Tim, it ain't about getting fired. Close the door. Tim still handles things like he's still in prison. That's not the way. You're out here, you're not incarcerated. This is the real world, and we deal with things different. And you're supposed to be a hard somebody that look up and they be every time they see you pushing them around.
Because they ain't got no control.
You ain't got no control. But if you don't beat up family, you don't beat up your family. I wouldn't pop my family. Your fist is not the answer.
Ain't no kids, they grown. I'm 210 pounds, bro. He's 210 pounds.
He's 17.
When you're that age, you have to fear something. You have to fear consequences. You have to have a fear of something. You know?
No remorse. Y'all can see Grandmama told him, you don't use your fists on these boys. They grown men. She said, no, Andre ain't but 17 years old. Look how Andre holding his head, y'all. He must have really punched Andre hard. But anyhow, she's mad at her son, y'all. She's been addressing this domestic violence towards Andre for a while now, y'all. Not just Andre, Charles too. Janae. Now Jennifer coming on the scene. She gets to experience it. And people act like they didn't even believe Jennifer. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss it.
Anything to bring my mother back. Like I would. Like I feel myself getting teary-eyed. But if I had the opportunity to argue with my mother, like I would do anything. You know what I mean? Like not that that's what I would want to do, but like when she's gone, it's like you don't get those conversations back. You know, like you don't get to say I love you, I miss you, I'm sorry, any of that.
Every night I go to bed thinking about it. Every morning I wake up thinking about it. I really don't know what to do.
What are you thinking?
I don't think that me shutting down all these stores I have out here and going back to St. Louis, I don't think that's...
No, that's not the solution.
I was glad to talk to Jennifer about it because I can really open up to her about it. She doesn't work for me. She's not my lawyer. I think she really cares about what's going on.
It just makes me sad that, honestly, this is really all over money.
So now let us listen to this about, black women are considered the most least protected species on this earth. And the black children. Look at Andre. He was 17 years old when Tim was beating up on him. Let's just see what this young lady is saying about black women and how they are unprotected. But I brought this subject up mainly because nobody wouldn't believe her. Nobody wouldn't believe this chick when she was saying that she was had and this is what Jennifer said. She said, I'm dealing with a real life psycho that I've not seen in 3 months. Okay, remember y'all, she had put the restraining order on him. I don't know if he is trying to boost ratings for his show or what his agenda is. Imagine me slicing tires. Yeah, he accused her of slicing his tires. She took that restraining order out, and when she got up there to the courthouse, he was leaving. So they back and forth filing cases on each other. But anyway, he accused her of slashing his tires. Imagine Tim moving quickly. Yeah, can you imagine Tim moving quickly? No, I can't. Please leave me alone and stop fabricating lies. Okay, so guess what this girl reported back? Look what this latest chocolate somebody said. Right. He was somebody when you was effing you. Oh, laughing my ass off. Yeah, they act like they didn't believe that girl. It took all of this. It took this boy to be convicted of murder for someone now to stand up and say, well, look, maybe Jennifer was right about Tim. Maybe he can be abusive. Now remember, some of these women were saying that Kim was very stable-minded. He would never do anything like that. But I must admit that recently, Jennifer had said that she knew that he was abusive, but she never thought he was capable of committing murder. We're talking about the most unprotected species on earth is the black woman and the black child. Andre said, Grandma, I didn't do it. Grandma, I didn't do it. I didn't steal anything from you. And another thing he was saying, my uncle Tim is gonna hurt me. Children supposed to feel safe. They're not safe at home. They're supposed to still feel safe in the community. Andre couldn't feel safe. He was not safe even in his own community. He had to tell his grandmama, I need to move through this community secretly because my uncle is trying to hurt me, and he probably got other people trying to hurt me as well. Yeah, Grandma ignored it, but I'm sure she's thinking about why did I not take my grandson seriously. I'm sure Grandmama got a lot of tears behind them doors. Yes. So we're talking about it took all of this. This man been convicted of murdering his own nephew. Said he attempted 5 life insurance policies. Then he finally got a policy going. And I forgot how much the policy was, but it was for thousands of dollars on Andre. Then later on, they got to digging. They claimed that he took out, I think, $1 million on Miss Robbie. Well, they showed where Tim was playing like he was going to take out some life insurance policy on her. So they on Miss Robbie. And these internet investigating people started digging up, and yeah, allegedly he had $1 million life insurance on his mother. But our children are not protected. Our children, black women, are not protected. Let's see what this woman is saying.
Our partners toward gender and racial justice. Ask Her is the Women's Foundation interview series with women leaders, our partners, community members, and supporters who work tirelessly for women, girls, and gender-expansive people of color. If you hear anything good, be sure to tweet during our chat using hashtag AskHerSeries, and you can follow us at the Women's Foundation. We would like to welcome everyone joining us today, including Patricia Vasquez and MJ Jones, our American Sign Language interpreters for our webinar. Thank you so much for being with us today. We're thrilled to have an especially timely conversation about protecting Black women. According to census data, 40% of Black women in DC will experience domestic violence in their lifetime. That is more than 66,000 people.
Wow.
Additionally, Black women have fewer resources to safely report their trauma, so most never reach out for help. For every Black woman who reports rape, for example, 15 Black women do not. To introduce and moderate this important conversation, we're excited to have with us Erica Totten. Erica Totten.
Okay, did y'all see what she said? For every Black person that will report a domestic violence, there'll be like 15% of them that don't. Because when you come forth, nobody will believe you. Now, Black girls, let's think about Black girls now. When they come forth with domestic violence or abuse, they're seen as less innocent. Or and Black women are seen as strong. They can take it, they can tolerate it. Black children are also at risk. They're not feeling safe in the community. This young man was not feeling safe at all in his community. Andre said, he's going to hurt me, grandmama. He's going to hurt me. I can't come down there right now. He came down and he ended up getting murdered. Anyway, this is going to conclude this series of domestic violence. Now, y'all know there's plenty of hotlines out there for domestic violence. Now, I concentrate on a Black woman because I am Black. But domestic violence goes across every geographical area, every economic. It don't matter your economic background. It don't. Domestic violence can affect all of us. And most likely, domestic violence usually come from within the family. So anyway, my heart goes out to Andre, family, especially his mom. Yeah, my heart goes out. My condolence to you. And Jennifer, you dodged a big bullet, girl. You was trying to marry that man, trying to rush that man into marriage, and he didn't want to marry you, and that worked to your own advantage. But call the hotline. If anybody in a domestic violence, please call the hotline and report it. Yeah, y'all. So now you got Jennifer. She's just got out of a relationship with her husband. I mean, they're divorced. Things wasn't looking too well for Jennifer when she met Tim. I think he kind of was like some kind of comfort for her. After all, she had divorced her basketball player husband, Eric. Mom had died, so, she took it pretty sensitive towards that situation with Tim and his mother. She wanted Tim to make up with his mother. But getting back to Jennifer, on this scene, she looked so thirsty. She was actually begging this man for a wedding ring, and he was so uncomfortable, you guys. So the women started dogging this Jen out. They kept saying, you thirsty. Only reason he with you is because he trying to get over Janae. Only reason he with you is because he trying to make Janae, his baby mother, jealous. But this woman started telling us, the public, that the man was crazy, that the man was stalking her. I don't know. This relationship just turned real bad. But I do know that when I watched that next episode about these rings, she went behind his back and bought some wedding rings. And that was when tables started turning for her. He was not ready to get married. And it worked out in her favor because, she said she had to take a restraining order out on this man, y'all. Well, just listen at Jen. We're going to listen at Jen. She sounds really thirsty, y'all, about this wedding ring.
Well, my hair about to swell up. Me jumping on planes.
But you know you make me feel bad.
You can make it up to me.
I may have
Yes.
just that smile.
I was thinking something big in a small box. I'm just saying, it's been a year. Wait, so are you gonna make some closet space for me? Because I'm here a lot and I should have some closet space.
Y'all hear that? Yes, I'm thinking of something small in a little box. Oh, are you going to make some closet space for me in your home? I'm busy flying all over the country to come see you. Oh, wow. And he's so annoyed. He just wants her to shut up.
Am I not worthy of freaking closet space?
I'm sweating right now. I don't know if it's the barbecue sauce or the conversation Jennifer's trying to have right now.
Maybe we should go house hunting. Oh, now you're talking on me. Maybe you should be a vegetarian then. Tim is uncomfortable when I start talking about relationship stuff. But it's come on, I need to know what's going on. I'm not 25. What are we doing here?
Hi, YouTubers. I'm excited to give you an update about our own YouTube channel.
Yeah, so the table turned, y'all. She started telling these women that this man was crazy, that she had to take out a restraining order on him, but they didn't believe her. So we're talking about all this right now. This young lady right here, Jen, she is just unrealistic. She was being unrealistic. She had unrealistic expectation from this man because he was not finna marry her.
For hire plot. Tim Norman was known for appearing on the reality series Welcome to Sweetie Pies. Well, today, a jury said Norman planned his nephew's murder and tried to cash in on his life insurance. News 4's Susan Alcori joins us live after following the very latest in this case. Yeah, and Page, prosecutors called it a crime that was motivated by greed, and that was enough for a federal jury. They spent almost 17 hours deliberating before they came out earlier this afternoon and said Tim Norman is guilty on all charges. And prosecutors said Norman took out a life insurance policy on his 21-year-old nephew, Andre Montgomery. That policy was worth $450,000. During the trial, an exotic dancer took the stand and testified that Norman paid her to follow his nephew. The accused shooter also testified that Norman paid him to pull the trigger. Both of them pled guilty to their parts in the crime. Meanwhile, Norman's lawyer called all of that a made-up theory. He then used a paramour.
They put him as the stuff people what happened to you? He wasn't like that. He's from street life. My brother's street smart and book smart. He graduated. It wasn't like he was out to get after anyone or try to pursue. Try to make it seem like he was this hard thing. He wasn't. My brother was loving and caring. Yes, he smoked weed.
This is Andre Montgomery's sister speaking out. Tim Norman found guilty of his murder.
Right.
He did not rob his grandson. And it's so messed that he reached out to his grandma and she ignored that. She ignored that. It's just crazy. Yes, he told us. We told her. He told all of us.
Yeah.
Andre had warned his grandma that Tim was going to hurt him, but she ignored him. He loved her so much that he wanted to prove that he did not steal from her. That's why he went back and he got killed.
Cussing him out and say, Mother Effa, you ain't my grandson. Mother Effa, blase, this and that. I don't think she was aware of this around because my brother, he's not right. He's not right. When something's not right, he's going to come from all of us from here. And he kept saying, Grandma, I didn't do it. I'm trying to tell you, Grandma, Uncle Tim did it. And she was just going on cussing him out. you ain't gonna come to my funeral, I ain't gonna go to your funeral. And just like, Grandma, I didn't do it. I'm trying to tell you, I didn't do it. Me and my sisters, and we was all sitting there like, Ray, we didn't do it, don't worry about it. He threw his phone, thinking I'm gonna be one of God's soldiers. Right there when he told me that means he's gonna sacrifice the food to his grandmother, and he did not rob his grandmother. He did not rob his grandmother. And that day, that's when he left, and that's when we found out he died. You know, that was messed up. She knew, she was aware of it. She was aware of it. For her to walk in at the funeral, Tim just stayed at the funeral. Tim saw the whole train. He didn't come to the view. He only came there with bulletproof vests on, with bodyguards, and he thought that, how come y'all didn't think that was weird? Like, they come from all the way from Lubbock, Texas. No emotion, nothing. Him and grandmother standing back behind me talking and whispering. I kept looking at them, is this burger? Why everyone's crying? Are y'all for real? And then they said, I don't know why they crying. They knew he was a street nigga. What? That's your grandson. Your grandson been with you since forever. He whatever you pray, learn a lot of things with his grandmother. He felt his money a certain way. He was very frugal with his money because he didn't want to be broke. Because his grandmother taught him that. So
hit that like button, share and subscribe. Remember, eagles flies with eagles. All right now, hit the like button, share and subscribe. This is Arthur Omer, and remember, eagles fly with eagles.